I see something bounding. It was physical, but it also had a transparent texture maybe, but it also was leathery. The head looked maybe wolf shape, maybe bat shape, but it was big. It was at least as big as a medium-sized dog, but double in width or even more in width. And the forearms, the arms were longer than the legs.
It was like this.
So when it bounded, because that's how it ran front legs, hind legs, front legs, hind legs, and it almost like ran like, that a bunny would run or jump. So that's called bounding, we found out later. And when it did that, or like a cheetah, when it did that, I saw the rotation of its shoulder, and its shoulder protruded so high up, so the arms were so long, and it just went whoosh.
Okay,
so this is the story
of us going to camping and crazy things happen. So we begin how it really first was. So everything was normal to me, right? But the first time, it was so lonely. And that made me a little scared. So we stayed there the first few days, and it went well until the craziest day, which shall be for Daddy.
I think we need to start. For the first time, we went on Mother's Day.
Mother's Day.
Yeah, I went to Appletree in Wrightwood, or right outside of Wrightwood.
And we were all alone. There was one other family that came, and they took off after a half hour.
An hour or so. We took a little nap. We were just laying in our tent, and then the people headed out. They were setting up when we were on a little hike, and then came back, took a 20-minute nap, laid down in the tent because it was so hot.
Right.
And all of a sudden they started breaking down everything they just set up less than an hour ago.
So we were alone the whole time.
We were alone the whole time until the last night. A gentleman and his girlfriend pulled up, and they had a truck with a tent on top. So they just set up kind of in the parking lot.
That was Mike.
Below us. Yeah, and he was really nice guy. His girlfriend was really nice. So then they said, if we need anything, let us know. We said the same thing.
Cheryl.
And so we hung out there, and we made a big fire, had a good time, and went to sleep. And then around 2 in the morning or something like that, Sam woke up.
To my dismay. And also, the first night, the ranger kept on checking on us hourly.
Yes.
Driving by hourly. I woke up and I heard a lot of commotion. And people were walking with flashlights, so the shadows of the trees and the branches were displayed on the tent canvas, and everything was moving, and it seemed like they were looking for something. And I was already kind of weary because people would drive by and they would
come and then go.
Get slow and they'd look.
Yeah,
and it's an interesting place.
It's right off the highway.
But then I thought, see, the people that were looking and that were kind of scouting the area, they're back now, I thought. And we weren't able to look out of the tent, but we also didn't want to make a lot of noise. And it was cold, and we had been really bundled up really well.
Yeah, it was freezing, no kidding.
But
maybe close to 30 degrees, I think.
And might be close, actually. So that disrupted everything.
And they were flashing their lights at our tent, and they were being really loud. They were cursing, and so those guys ended up cooking some food. They made a huge fire, like a bonfire. It was pretty intense. It sounded like there's so many of them all around. And
Yes.
of course, where we're at, it's so quiet and dark. You hear them everywhere. So they're stepping maybe 50 feet away from us, but it sounds like it's right outside our tent. So that was very strange. So we ended up
I was in
Hold on, don't interrupt Teddy.
and so Teddy was sleeping the whole time. We didn't want to wake him up. And then
I was freaking out. I was crying like, but I had to keep it down so that Teddy wouldn't wake up, because if he also would freak out, no good.
so the night ended up going by. We woke up the next morning and we realized it was just like 3 guys. They were sleeping in their Volvo, so they never even made camp. They just built a huge fire and made a disruptance.
Didn't even clean
And then
up after
left
themselves.
their mess all throughout the campsite. All their trash was there, water bottles. The fire was still burning in the morning. Very irresponsible. And I
Fire
woke up
burning
and
still is crazy, and is it even illegal?
no, you shouldn't. You're not
not
supposed to
legal.
leave it fire. Leave
But
the
it
fire
should
burning.
be illegal
It's
because
not
that's
legal, yeah.
dangerous.
Yeah, it is
It's
illegal.
illegal.
And then so I woke up and I walked down, and Mike was down at his truck, and I just talked to him and I was like, "That was pretty crazy last night," and he was like, "Yeah." And he said they made a huge fire, so we just kind of talked about it, and I just kind of made like a remark, like how rude it was. And then probably like 10-15 minutes later, those guys woke up in their car, and then they just asked him where the hiking trail was that everybody's going on. And because it's the Pacific Crest Rim, I think it's called, or something like that, the trail from I think Mexico to Canada. And he was really nice, so he explained to them where they needed to go, and they just took off. So then Mike ended up dousing the fire out with his water, and then I ended up cleaning up just like the campsite. So that was that night. It was pretty strange. Just strange how rude people could be at 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning at a campsite. So that was our first experience camping, which was a really fun time.
It was
The whole time
really
by ourselves
fun.
was really nice. We made
So
a lot of
fun
good
that
food, had a really good time. But then that incident happened, and it kind of, I don't know, made things a little weird. But anyways, we ended up enjoying our rest of our day and went home and had a good time. So fast track to Father's Day, we decided let's go camping again.
Same spot.
Let's go to the same spot. Why not? So we rolled over there on a Saturday morning.
Yes, I think that was the difference that we started on a Saturday.
We did a Saturday morning. So by the time we got there, now backtrack real quick. The first time we went camping, that was opening season for camping.
First weekend
that like they opened up all the camps. Like that specific spot is year round, but the spots all around it just opened. So nobody really was camping, especially because it was so cold. So now it's Father's Day and we go camping, and now people are camping now, and we roll up to the spot thinking we're going to be one of the first ones there, and it's a full house. There's people everywhere. And this place is small and only has about like 8 camping sites. So we ended up finding a spot at the bottom of the hill, which was kind of nice because we didn't have to hike up and take all of our stuff, and our car was right there. And it worked out being a perfect spot for us.
That was really nice.
There were some interesting people in that campground that day. People were shooting BB guns, and people were really kind of standoffish. Nobody was really talking to each other. Not too many friendly people. We met 2 friendly
young
boys
guys
that were
nice.
above us. They were really nice. They gave us wood.
They had a dog named Coco.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Just like the movie on Disney.
Yeah, and
Coco. If you watch it, it's kind of funny.
and the guy had come down to his car, so that was the first guy that Teddy saw. So Teddy, as he was exiting the car, he goes, "Hello," and the guy was so nice. He said hello back to Teddy. It was a really nice interaction.
Yeah, they were really nice. They were younger,
Yes.
and they ended up giving us some firewood and some rope
so
and
sweet.
stuff.
Even though they still needed it themselves.
Yeah, but they're really nice. And then Sunday came along, and most of the people left at that time.
There
on
were
Sunday.
already weird things that kind of were happening. Like HD looked at me, kind of mad dogged me as I was walking to the restroom. I think that's why he then gave you that comment the next day.
Yeah. So people were kind of looking at us, a little weird. There was a lot of glares coming over, and then
We just tried to mind our own business because for Father's Day, I had got Kai and Teddy both bow and arrow.
Yeah, so we're shooting bow and arrows over this. That was fun. We set up a target and we're shooting and learning how to use our bow and arrows, and we got pretty good at it. That was really fun.
If I could show you, I could shoot right in there, that bushes. And then, and one time I shot in the mountain. I'm not kidding.
Yeah, you shot up really high up in the hills.
Well, actually, that's good. That's a good segue right now, because when Teddy did that, and it was Teddy, it wasn't you, I think, right, love? But when Teddy did that, he shot it so far up the ridge that I had to go climb up, and the thing was almost vertical. Yeah. So I had to circumvent that area and climb over the tree stump, the burnt down and very dried tree stump. I sort of had to use that as support to climb over, which means that that whole ridge was vertical. It's not a place where you could walk, and plus a fire blazed through there not long ago. So there's no earth, it's just all ashes. And you're walking on ashes.
And also that's a part of the story.
Yeah, but we're not there yet. We're not there yet.
And we're not telling that.
Explain that.
And it's kind of cool, but scary. So,
so we.
Hold on. Don't get ahead of yourself. Well, you can tell it then, but let's still prepare.
So the people left. Most of the people left. Funny enough, when they left, some people said hi to us.
Yeah,
introduced themselves at the end of it. But anyways, they left. But there were still two people who were camping, and they were across from us, but at the lower campsite across from us near the bathrooms.
Which at that point I could have sworn I saw 3. That's why I gave you 3 oranges.
We always thought there was 3 people there, but I guess there was only 2. So we ended up going later that day. I was cleaning a pot. We just had some food, and we kind of have to walk like in the middle of both of our campsites. So I walked over there, and the gentleman who was over there, was a lady and a gentleman that were over there. He kind of said hi, or kind of like looked at me, and then I introduced myself, and we're kind of just talking. And then he starts telling me about, we're just gonna call him HD, and he started telling me about if those people that were up that introduced themselves at the end of the day, if they were talking about him when they left, and that's why they were talking to us, that did they ask us to say something about him? And I told him no, the lady was really nice. She was just introducing herself, and we were just talking a little bit and saying bye. And he's like, oh, okay. And then he told me that he had an interaction with them that was very strange, and that she was watching him change in his tent, and he was asking me if there was an app or something with a phone or your camera that you could see through tents. And I told him no. I was like, there's like infrared stuff, but you just see like warm body, like red outline of a body maybe. But I was like, no, there's nothing really like that. And he's like, are you sure you can't download it on your app or something, like an app like that? And you check your phone? And I was like, no, I don't have service. And then after I said I didn't have service, I was like, oh, that's not a good thing.
Yeah, that's not good.
But so it was kind of strange already. And he came to the point where he was saying that the lady had about a couple, like probably like guys my age, maybe a little older than me, probably in their like 30s, maybe in their like late 20s, I don't know. She had a couple, I don't know if they're sons or nephews, but he claimed those were her nephews. But then there were some like older gentlemen with her, and so she had a big group. People, they were trying to take over like 3 campsites. They had a big group of people. But anyways, he was saying that that she didn't like him because he said something to her because he thought she was looking at her, or she was being really rude. She said that they were talking about him, and to the point where he could hear it, and he like mouthed some stuff back. So he said that she was offended by him and like didn't like him. So she said supposedly she offered her nephew 10 grand to take his life, which I don't believe that was the case. I think, and
spiritual. And
so they were hanging out, and they were, I guess, smoking in their tent and stuff like that, and and they were kind of friends. HD was friends with the two guys, kind of like they're cordial. But then after that incident, they were acting really weird. But they were also, when they're in his tent, they were looking around, and HD was living in his tent at the moment, so he had all his possessions there. So he thought that they were gonna like try to ransack him and rob him. That's why they were scoping out his tent and stuff like that. And HD said that he heard the nephew didn't want to do that. Like, he thought about it and then ended up not wanting to take up the offer and get the money, which again is, to me, is really far-fetched. I don't know. And then they're the day they were leaving, because that was the night before. They were very standoffish. They didn't even say bye to him when they were packing up and leaving. They didn't look his way. And then I guess the aunt, which was the lady, she was really upset with her nephew, is what he claimed. Like, she was really upset that he wouldn't do that.
Is that why she asked the two young guys to carry down the chest?
Maybe. So I don't know. It's really weird. Yeah, 'cause she asked the two guys, the nice gentlemen that sat up in front who were younger. She asked them, "Hey, can you grab my stuff and take it down for me?" Even though she had guys that were able, and she had her husband and whoever. There's a lot of men there.
Yeah.
Which was just interesting. So, anyways, that happens, and he's telling me the story. I'm like, "Oh, that's crazy." I was like, "No, I didn't know any of that." I was like, I told him, like, yeah, those people kind of standoffish. They weren't really friendly. They, like, I walked by a couple of the guys a few times, looked at them and said hi, and they kind of ignored me. The ladies, there's two women, they always said hi, but the gentlemen, they just kind of like sat there, not rude, but they just didn't say anything, which could just be how they are. I'm not, like, it is what it is. So he told me that story, and I thought that was very interesting.
A hummingbird just flew by us, and it was right on top of us on our heads.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, super fast.
So cool.
You couldn't even count them if you tried to.
No, and did you know that hummingbirds can fly backwards?
Yes,
So
I told
cool.
you that once.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Even though, can their heads move backwards?
Like owls?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
That'd be cool.
So he tells me this story and stuff like that, and then he tells me, like, oh yeah, I'm like living here at the site, and that he's gonna leave the next day, and the lady that he's with, we'll call her Princess. She was gonna head towards Big Bear. So they were friends. Princess was friends with HD's girlfriend, and then the girlfriend ended up having to leave to a different state. So he felt obligated to take care of Princess, or like at least be with her to make sure everything was fine with her, because she wasn't disabled, but she had trouble walking, so she was using like a walker occasionally here and there. But there were kind of running into some issues, I guess he was saying, and that she was mad at him, and she was going to head out to Big Bear the next day, but he was also going to head out. So he told us stories, this and that. We introduced ourselves, and then we ended up going, and Teddy brought 3 oranges to them. Sam gave Teddy 3 oranges to go bring to him, and Teddy brought the oranges over to him.
And he started to eat one right away.
We started eating the orange right away, and we hope he gave one to Princess, but we don't know. We thought there was 3 people, 2 men and a woman. There's only them 2. So anyways, that was the night, and we ended up going. We started cooking and having dinner and stuff like that. And then it started becoming nighttime, and he even said like goodnight to us.
I think that's when we were done cooking dinner.
Yeah, we're done cooking dinner.
You were doing the dishes over there, and then I had Teddy bring you the oranges to bring back the dishes from me.
Oh yeah, maybe that was it. Yeah. So,
and then this is the most. Is this where we saw?
No, what?
No,
Teddy,
we skipped a part at the first time.
What happened?
The first time.
What did we skip?
And the first time going to Appletree on Mother's Day, we went on this hike and we found a really big tree of pollen. Remember?
Amber.
Amber. And Mom and I had a cut right here. And some amber can heal people's cuts. And in a day or something, it was completely gone. Not even in a day, only maybe in 2 hours, I'm not sure. But so it was So we went on that hike even farther on a lake, and then there was a stump that went a hill to hill. So I started going up. We went to and we
Not
saw
just a log.
a log that was cut down, and it was right there, and it looked like a river would flow there. And here comes the first warning.
We're not there yet, Teddy.
the rock.
Mother's Day.
Yeah, it's Mother's Day.
Yeah,
But
it was Mother's Day, then Father's
Yes.
Day.
What's the first warning?
The first warning was the rocks. It fell in between these two mountains. Some rocks started tumbling.
yeah.
Okay, Teddy.
Let's get to
we're
that
not
story.
there.
Yeah, you're jumping everywhere. Let's just continue to the story and then we'll get to that, okay?
Okay.
You can tell that.
And so we ended up going with we ended up starting to make our fire and stuff like that, and they said goodnight to us. HD screamed out, "Yeah, good night, guys." And that was it. So then we built the fire and we're all sitting there and
Roasting marshmallows.
we're roasting marshmallows
Homemade.
and where
Homemade.
we were sitting, we were facing that steep cliff, that vertical
ridge.
cliff
Oh my
that was
goodness!
up in the air, and
the part?
no, we're brushing, and then we ended up having a good time, like starting getting late and getting dark. So then we decided to brush our teeth.
For some reason, every night we were kind of getting ready around midnight, and for some reason I felt that we needed to get done earlier that night, and so I handed out toothbrush.
And also,
Did his teeth first.
oh no, I want to do this part.
Do you remember what I was thinking?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not there yet with stuff coming down.
No, I know. And Mommy thought that I should be done quicker.
I should be done by now. Why am I still brushing my
So
teeth?
Sam's back was towards the hillside.
The ridge.
I was across. For some reason, we're sitting very separately on the fire. Like we're really far away from each other for some reason. Sam her back was facing the cliff. I was facing the cliff, but on the other side of the fire. And then Teddy was to my right, but like we're in a triangle and we were very spaced out. Yeah, and so I finished brushing my teeth. Teddy finished brushing teeth, and Sam was
brushed
finishing
Teddy's
brushing
teeth.
her teeth.
And I was brushing my teeth and my back was to there, like Ikaika says, and I was thinking, why is my back to the forest like this? This isn't good.
And then this was the crazy part that I have always...
While I am still brushing my teeth, mind you, so it's loud within my mouth. It's loud
it's
within.
loud. It's
'Cause
electric.
we had electric toothbrushes.
Yeah, and may I tell this?
Something happens and I want to scream, but I can't because my mouth is full of toothpaste, and I'm going, and then say what happened. Why does it happen? Why did I get scared?
Mommy says right now, do you think it was Holy Spirit?
What part?
Where he was telling you that something was gonna come?
Yeah, well, at that point, stuff had already happened. So at that point...
Oh, no. Do not continue farther than that spot.
Okay, I won't.
Okay, at the
Before
first
that,
day...
hold on.
No, let me... At the first day, when we went to that, we saw a bat. So, remember? On the campfire, at some type of day, I'm not sure which day of which week, but I saw a bat, and now I'm claiming that it looks like a warning because this thing is insane. Okay.
All right, let me talk.
I want to tell this story where you see it.
No, I don't. We're not there yet.
Oh,
Two
sorry.
things already happened.
Okay.
So the sun was slowly going down, and I heard an owl, and it's not as if we had heard a lot of owls out there. We had not heard any owls the first trip, and that was the only time that we heard an owl that time. And stories that I've come across lately is, owls, I'm sure can be owls, but also can be something else.
Like witches.
Yes, and so
Not this
that happened.
story time. No.
And then not long after, when it was already getting pretty dark, a car passed by, and illuminated one of the top tables, camping tables, and I saw fluttering fabric in the wind. I saw fluttering fabric in the wind. And that happened before that stuff happened.
In the tree?
And I think that's why I was thinking, we need to get ready. We need to.
In the
I
tree?
think the owl was. Yeah, I think the fluttering happened when we were.
Yeah, the fluttering. At table 3.
That must have happened.
At table 3, this, I don't know which day this happened, at Mother's Day or any day, I'm not sure, but it looked like a wolf was sitting on a bench or anything. It looked like something was waiting in the bushes. It's something in my eyes, I saw something waiting. And I saw it while we were talking to... Is that ahead of the story?
No, HD.
HD.
You're not allowed to say his name. I need to cut that out. It's fine.
Okay. HD.
So those two things happened.
Yeah, it looked like a wolf, so it looked like an actual wolf. It looked like a husky. I'm not kidding. A husky or some type of wolf husky. I'm not sure. It had big long teeth. I'm not kidding.
Teddy, this is the first time you're telling us this. Are you sure this happened?
Yes. I've told you this before. And
No, you haven't.
huh? Yes, I have. Okay. So
Back to the
that
story.
Yes.
Okay, so now my back is to the ridge. I'm brushing my teeth. I'm nervous. I'm anxious. And what happens?
We all of a sudden, like Teddy said, the first time we were there, we heard rocks falling from the mountainside.
But we saw squirrels running
And we
around.
saw squirrels running
Yeah.
for the first time. This time, we heard it again. So we heard stuff falling. And now,
Hard.
but we're right up along
Hard.
the edge, kind of. So we heard things, something tumbling, falling, and it gets louder and louder because it's getting closer and closer, starting from the top all the way down. And then there's this big stump that's in front of the parking lot. Where our car was, and all of a sudden the thing that was tumbles, and Sam starts freaking out, Teddy's freaking out, and they ended up standing right behind me. Instantaneously. They both got behind me,
At the same time.
I'm grabbing the flashlight, and things tumbling down, and all of a sudden it just boom smacks against this tree stump,
so
a huge tree
hard.
stump, hits it very hard.
Yes.
So I grabbed the light, and we're flashing the light at that area of where the tree stump is, and we don't see anything. And I'm flashing the lights up the mountainside because it sounded like something was either coming down, something was
It
being
sounded
chased.
like steps down.
Yeah.
Unregular steps down the hill.
HD.
No, we're not there yet.
And then it hit really hard. So I'm there with the flashlight looking around.
At that direction.
Looking in the direction, looking all around. And we're all freaked out. All of our hearts are racing now at this point. Because we think it could be probably a bear or something, like chasing its prey down the hill.
Yes, so something else
So
is
maybe
still gonna
maybe a
come,
bear is
maybe.
going to come at us. So we're standing there, and then all of a sudden, like I'm glaring my light back and forth, and then all of a sudden,
I look behind the two of them. So they're standing here. I look behind the two of them. I'm looking out toward the street. I don't know why I'm doing that. I'm looking out toward the street, and I lower my gaze, and there's this concrete platform that our table was on and our stuff was on, and just a few inches away from that, I see something bounding. It was physical, but it also had a transparent texture maybe, but it also was leathery. The head looked maybe wolf shape, maybe bat shape, but it was big. It was at least as big as a medium-sized dog, but double in width or even more in width. And the forearms, the arms were longer than
like
the
this.
legs.
It was like this.
So when it bounded, because that's how it ran front legs, hind legs, front legs, hind legs, and it almost like ran like, that a bunny would run or jump. So that's called bounding, we found out later. And when it did that, or like a cheetah, when it did that, I saw the rotation of its shoulder, and its shoulder protruded so high up, so the arms were so long, and it just went whoosh. But for some reason, in that little part where I saw it there, I'm almost inclined to believe that farther away it was either invisible or I don't know. But then when I saw it well enough to be able to see certain aspects of it, because since we've seen 2 videos where a description sounds very similar to what we saw or what I saw, but yeah, that's the best I can describe. But it didn't mind us. It wasn't distracted by us at all. It ran straight past us.
Yeah, and this is the part I want to tell. So that thing went straight to a different camp.
Yeah, to HD's camp.
To HD, which we're not going to say the name.
No.
Okay, so it runs to HD's, and let's call it
It's campsite.
its campsite. And
runs past us to his campsite.
And then circles his tent.
Wait, we don't know that yet. We didn't even know that it ran for him. We just knew that it ran past
in that
us.
direction. So we're flashing our lights, looking around, and we don't want to say anything to scare them. Yeah, we didn't know what we. I didn't see it. Teddy didn't see it. Sam just saw it. But like, if it was an animal that ran by, we didn't want to startle them.
Scurry away.
Yeah, we thought, oh, okay, it's gonna run away. So we didn't want to like wake them up and have them come outside or anything like that. Plus, it's like the middle. It's getting late. It's dark.
Yeah.
They said hours before good night. So we were just kind of trying to be quiet. Teddy was really scared, so we decided, okay, let's just put out our fire, pack up our stuff a little bit, and just like lay down for a little bit, or go in our tent, or either in the car. So we're sitting there, and then all of a sudden HD comes out, and he like screams something like, "Hey, are you guys like around my tent?" And we're like, "What? No."
Someone's running around.
Yeah, he's like, "Somebody's running around my tent. Are you guys out here?"
A man is running around my tent.
Yeah, 2 people are running around my tent or something like that. I hear the footsteps. And then I tell him like, hey, no, like something just came down this mountainside. We think it was an animal and it ran that way. And then he got really upset. He's like, well, why didn't you say anything? Why didn't you come and tell me this and that? And so I'm like, dude, I don't want to like scare you or startle you. Guys were sleeping, this and that. And he's like, no, you should have said something.
Yeah.
So now he's coming out, and then and he's like, there's people running. He's like, there's people out here. They're hiding behind the trees. I heard their footsteps. They literally ran around my tent. They want to pull me out of my tent, and they want to get me. So he says that, and I'm like, are you sure there's people? So now he's convincing me like, okay, there's people there now, because stuff doesn't seem right. So go ahead.
But also, are we already standing next to him?
No.
Okay.
So then now I'm going. So now I tell Sam and Tay, all right, let's go over there, because he says there's people around his tent.
Yeah,
so we go
Kai
over
went
there,
over
to
there
go
with
help
a
him.
baseball bat.
So I grab my bat and I walk over there with the bat in my hand. And then all of a sudden he turns around, pulls his gun out on me, aims it right at me.
We're standing right
and
next
starts
to him.
screaming like, hey, what are you doing? What are you doing with that bat? What are you doing coming to my campsite with that bat? And then I throw the bat down, and I tell him like, whoa, man, like nothing
so
like that,
nicely.
dude. Like we're not here to hurt you. He's like, I don't know who you are, and I was like, well, we just talked like earlier that day. Like you do know who I am. He's like, I don't know you from da-da-da, and he's like, you could be working with them, this and that. He's like, you don't come up at me with the bat like that. And I was like, all right, man, like I didn't mean that. I come in here to help you. You asked for help, I come to help you. And he's like, well, I don't even know you. And I'm like, all right, man. And then we tell him like, hey, man, we have a kid with us. Like, what are we going to be trying to do?
He says you're too calm.
Yeah, and then he said we're too calm.
Yeah, of course we need to be calm. If I freak out the way I want to freak out, then Teddy's gonna freak out. Yeah.
So he says we're too calm, and he's really suspicious of us. And he said, and then he claims like, yeah, I've been suspicious about you guys. I thought you guys were talking about me throughout the time. That's why I kept looking over.
Which I wanted to know what they had spoken about, but Kai was very careful not to tell me anything because he didn't want the guy to know that we were talking about him. So we didn't talk about him at all.
Yeah, and then he claimed like, oh, he thought we were even talking about him after we introduced ourselves to him. So he was suspicious of us already. So anyways, then we tell him like, hey man, we're just gonna, something's out here. It's not a person. He starts shooting his little BB gun like at trees and stuff out there. Nothing's happening. So we tell him like, hey man, like Teddy's really scared at this point. We're just gonna go sleep in our car. I was like, if you need anything, let us know. We're gonna go cross through your camp, like near your campsite real quick after we put our stuff to go to the bathroom. And then we're gonna head to our car. Like, don't shoot us, man.
So
like,
that he knows.
You went to the bathroom, Mommy?
Oh yeah, but Kai handled it so nicely because he really in the moment humbled himself and just cater to that need of the guy, and I think we detected that pretty early on. And of course at that point Kai just knows more about the situation than I do, but was really humble. He really humbled himself and diffused the situation that I'm sure was maybe one of the main reasons for all of this happening, was to start something, to cause some disruption.
Yeah.
And so Kai handled that so well. But yes, we went to the restroom.
So yeah, we went to the restroom. We told them, hey, we're gonna go to the bathroom. Don't be alarmed. This and that. And then after that, we're gonna go to our car. And then I ended up giving them some firewood. And that's strange too. I go to give him firewood, and Teddy's with Sam. And then I'm walking across with the firewood, and then Teddy just darts off towards me.
And I don't know where Teddy is.
And I don't even know he's coming behind me. So I went to give HD the firewood, and then HD gets all nervous and almost like pulls the gun on Teddy because Teddy comes sneaking up, like you see footprints, and then Teddy's like right there behind us. So that was bad too. But I know I gave HD fire so he could burn a fire to keep lit up, to light up his campsite, just in case there's something out there. And then we pack up our things that we need, any of our valuables and stuff, and then we went into our car. And we stay up all night.
Well, I try to.
Yeah.
Kai does.
I ended up staying up all night.
I got
Teddy tried to stay up with us, and they ended up falling asleep. But
first, before we fell asleep, something happened.
Yeah, so we're sitting there in the car, and cars are driving by all throughout the night, and people are pulling over. I don't know what they're doing. They're looking around.
Yeah.
So it was a very strange situation. Yeah, not there, Teddy. Yes. Okay. And then, so we're kind of getting startled throughout the night a little bit because cars are just pulling up with their headlights. People are like backing up, looking around. So we're just like, all right, this is very weird. And then finally, this one car pulls up, and another car pulls up the opposite way, so they're just blasting their brights at us, so we can't even see really what's going on.
Well, he pulls up and parks next to us, and then the other one so he pulls up next to us, so this is us and this is him, and the other car pulls up behind us, so it seems like they're trying to corner us.
No, the other guy was on the other side, so there's a car next to us and the guy like on the other side near the bathrooms, but he pulls up with his headlights pointing at us, and they're bright, and he just leaves it there for like 5 minutes.
Yes.
So we're like, this is strange. Yeah, we're thinking like, so this is like someone setting things up.
Someone's setting
this and that. The guy ends up driving away, but there's this gentleman who parks right next to us.
Yes.
And then he gets out of his car and he
goes to his trunk, and we don't know what he's doing.
He looks like Chester Bennington.
Yeah.
Smaller.
Yeah. And he walks out with a headlight, or a flashlight, I mean.
Not yet.
And yes.
No, at first he just uses his car light. Then he goes to the back of the trunk and grabs his light.
Yeah,
but
he grabs a bucket and he's collecting firewood.
Yeah. And then he goes.
And this is at
3 in the morning.
Yeah. And
like probably 1 in the morning. 2 in the morning.
And he stays until 3.
And he stays until 3.
And there's a big crow like this. So he's walking up there with this, and then goes there. And no, halfway there. And his flashlight starts on, off, and on, off.
This guy gets out of his car, and we are debating, do we warn him?
Yes.
Do we warn him because of whatever ran past us is in that forest? There's something going on in that forest. But we already told HD that we would be in our car. If we open the car door, the lights are going to turn on, and then he's going to think that we're affiliated with this guy.
Yeah, so then we start thinking like, oh, HD's gonna think that we're working with this guy and that we're out to get him. So then I kind of scream,
yes,
HD, it's not us. HD, it's not us. Because I'm like, I told HD like, if something happens, I'll reach out to him. I'll scream out to him. So then I kind of scream, HD, that's not us. And then, but for some reason that guy doesn't even like react to it. Not HD, but the other guy, he doesn't even react to it. And because it's quiet, he had to have heard me.
Yes.
HD doesn't come out. And then that guy starts picking up his stuff. So we're just keeping an eye on the guy.
We're watching him.
And he just starts picking up wood and he starts climbing up the mountainside.
He walks he walks up in the middle, and then it looks like
a polar bear sitting next to him.
It looks like he's levitating.
Yeah, so his lights are on, and then he turns his light off, then he turns his light on, and all of a sudden his light just, goes straight up in the air.
So
almost.
high. We saw the tall trees next to it. He was so high next to the tall tree.
I want to tell this. It was like he was a Nephilim, or one of the generations of any type of giants, and it was just crazy. Then something happens and it looks like a blue laser.
Yes, it did. And remember, then he walks behind our campsite and the light goes.
Yeah, light starts like strobing out and then all these directions as if he's getting like ripped
torn
apart
into pieces, and we think.
And then all of a sudden the light just shuts off.
Turns off completely.
And we're like, did he just fall down the hillside? Did he just get grabbed by a bear?
Die?
Like, what is going on? And we're sitting there like, should we go out there and see if something's wrong? And then we're like, no, maybe this is like set up, or maybe there's something is out there and it's gonna get us. And then we start thinking, well, all of a sudden we're gonna wake up in the morning and there's body's gonna be there, and then they're gonna think it's us. And so it was just all this crazy stuff going on in our minds. So we're like, oh, let's just sit here and see what happens. Like, let's see if his light turns back on. And we wait like a good 15 minutes, right? Like we're sitting there watching. It's pitch black out there, and then like 15 minutes go by, and then all of a sudden at the top,
the tippy top
of the campsites, because on this hillside there's all the different campsites. At the top,
not by the campsite, up the
hill,
steep where we tried to get up one time.
Yeah, it's like the steep hill,
and we couldn't.
All of a sudden we see a spark of light, a fire, and then all of a sudden the fire just gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and then now boom, it's a full-blown fire.
No. He walked up. We don't see him. He had walked, because we were kind of maybe even chuckling a little bit. He's not going to find any firewood. We already picked it all up. He was up on that mountainside and the flashlight turned on. So then at that point we're thinking, there's no moon out. Okay, not like the first time we were there where the moon was so bright. He walked through the entire oh my gosh. We walked through the entire forest. He walked through the entire forest with no light. From behind our campsite to up top, he was still gathering wood. He wasn't at the campsite yet. He had walked up and then was slowly walking down again and had his flashlight on again. And that's when he walked to the campsite.
No, that was before the whole thing. That was all before the light went out and we thought he was gone.
No.
Yeah, because there was lights on, lights off as he was going up, and then all of a sudden, he appeared like way at the top with his light on.
And it looked like a polar bear. Like a polar bear, and all these different bears sitting, just bear heads moving into different bear heads. Don't you remember? It looks like a polar bear next to him. You said that, right?
What?
Did you?
No, I didn't say
Well, you said that because I know it, and I remember that.
Go ahead, babe.
Okay, so the blue laser, was this in the next part?
Your mommy's gonna go now. And then all of a sudden, there was a fire that came about in a glow, and then all of a sudden there's a big fire, and this gentleman was sitting there in front of the fire, no chair, nothing, just you could see a silhouette near the fire.
He was sitting on the bench. Yeah, he was sitting on there, and then he laid down on the table, didn't he?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I saw him lay down. It looked like he had one of those marble things where you tuck yourself in and it has a warm bed and a blanket on it.
No, he didn't have anything like that.
No, it was where the other people came back from something. He just sat there. I fell asleep then. I don't know what happened because I don't recall him leaving.
Yes, and then after a while, he sat there for like over an hour with this fire, kept adding wood, and then the fire slowly started going down. And I was just watching him, and then the fire ended up being extinguished, and all of a sudden the gentleman started walking down the hill around like 3:30 in the morning.
Like nothing happened.
Like walking down the hillside, jumps in his car, and just drives off.
Weird, right?
No, you forgot about the blue laser.
I don't know.
You talked about the blue laser. You talked about it already.
No, after his lights goes off, the blue laser suddenly appears. He was halfway there. So now he's walking with a blue laser going maybe all directions, I'm not sure.
You think maybe the light just kind of looked blue to you? The flashlight looked blue?
No. I'm serious.
No, the guy had some colored lights, laser lights. Yeah, something weird. Yeah.
Like those finger ones that you put there.
But that was during the whole time when he was looking for the firewood.
So that happens.
And that's all?
I suppose so.
Yeah, and then the next morning we wake up, we start packing up our stuff first thing in the morning. Teddy was sleeping still. It was like 6 in the morning maybe, right when the light came out. We started packing up and breaking down our tent. And we said, we're getting out of here. We're not going to stay much longer. This was crazy. This incident was crazy. These people are crazy here.
Yes.
We saw something last night. We need to get out of here. So we started packing up our things. And as we're packing up our things, HD comes out. And he
wasn't going to say anything.
He wasn't going to say anything. Yeah, he was quiet the whole time.
Sorry, I saw something on Daddy.
And he was doing his thing, but he didn't say anything to us, which was so strange. You'd think you'd talk about what happened the night before. And then I said something to him like good morning or something like that. And then that's when he started talking to me again, and I told him, yeah, it was kind of crazy last night. And then he kind of apologized for scaring Teddy. And it was just very bizarre. And we end up hanging out. We wanted to leave early, and then we ended up talking to him. And he starts talking about his life, and we just sit there and talk to him, and then pray with him.
We talked to
then we talked to Princess, and like really talked to her about like everything going on, and we kind of explained like what happened last night, but and then we just started talking about life and like life situations and things that we're interested in.
And then he gave me a watch.
And then we just prayed for him and prayed for her.
And just pour what we did was
interest.
pour identity into him, and come to find out that his father didn't do that, and so yeah, he
was very troubled. He had a tough life growing up, and so that's why he had that little paranoia and distrust and stuff like that. So instead of like just ignoring him, getting away from him because of how he was, we just accepted him and just wanted to talk to him and showed that people do care and people do take their time to understand you. And I think he really needed that.
I think so too.
So we did that, and we stayed there for like 3 or 4 hours after that talking with him.
So long.
And he ended up being a very nice guy, and she was a very nice lady. And he ended up giving Teddy
he wanted to give Teddy a slingshot, which would have been so cool for Teddy because Teddy's slingshot broke, or Kai's slingshot broke. And he couldn't find it, and ended up giving Teddy a Superman watch, which is so cool because Teddy loves watches and has a Spider-Man watch. And it was really cool, right? But you were so sweet about it, and you hugged him, and that made him cry. Remember? You said thank you so nicely, and you were so excited, and you hugged him, and that made him cry. Remember? And then he apologized to Daddy. Sorry for crying.
Yeah, he was like ashamed of it, and I said, no, it's fine, man. So it ended up turning out to be a nice day after all the crazy incidences and stuff like that. But then we started talking on the ride home. It took about an hour and a half, 2 hour drive. We were talking about it and contemplating and trying to understand what happened, what we saw.
Yeah.
And Sam's the one that actually saw the most. So we started doing some research. Yeah, we heard the steps.
Heard the steps.
Yeah.
Teddy, don't lean on this.
I didn't really have.
So all in all, though, we did research. Sam did a lot of research on what she saw.
Yeah, but
what she believes could have been. And yeah, so this is our take on the whole.
Well, I think there
incidents.
were the bottom one, or the most believable one, was that it was just prey running away from a predator, and the predator just never came. That's one thing. The other thing is maybe it was witch, because I heard the owl. I don't know, did you guys hear the owl?
Yeah, we heard owls.
We heard the owl.
Mountain lions too. Like
we heard
chirps,
mountain lions.
Heard the owl. The fluttering cloth.
Yeah, so we heard the owl.
I saw the
fluttering cloth. And then something that bounded that looked very disproportionate. And then around his camp, look at that spider web.
Where?
We just took a short break. Wow.
Those guys are cool.
Is he gonna jump?
They do jump. They're so fast. It's almost like he's glitching.
Get away!
Right? Doesn't seem like he's glitching.
Yeah, it does seem like he's glitching.
Like strobe light, huh?
Are they venomous?
It's recording. So our battery overheated again. Thanks,
Yeah.
GoPro. Send us a new GoPro.
Let them be
So,
scared.
anyways, so all these incidents happened. We did our research. We started just talking what we thought it could have been.
That night we got home, our picture got thrown on the floor out of nowhere. Right when we were talking about it, remember?
Oh yeah.
What pictures?
A picture of us with where I put the coins on and stuff.
Yeah.
It just fell on the floor out of nowhere.
Yeah, very strange.
Maybe that's a sign.
So we, Sam looked into what she saw. She tried to research because I didn't see what she saw. Said he didn't see what she saw. So she really tried to understand what she saw, or if anybody else had any sightings of things that she saw. So she looked it up.
I didn't really find anything with research, but I started to, by the grace of Yahuwah, I think, videos started to find me where they would talk about certain things, where all of a sudden an hour into the video he'd mention something and I'm thinking, hey, that could be this. But he didn't really give it any name. He didn't really say anything about it. It was when I watched that video of the guy that was talking about Jezebel and that being his life pursuit, just to destroy that influence that it has over his daughter. And I think it was he who then spoke about certain things. I think I'm gonna try and link those videos and also send this video to those people. It's been a few months, but yeah, we started seeing things. I don't know, I could see a natural aspect, but I think sometimes in those kind of situations, especially because I saw it, I think if you had turned around you would have seen it too. But I think that Yahuwah wanted me to see it.
Yeah, because we thought obviously our initial thought was, all right, it's Mother Nature, it's natural, it's animals out here. We're in nature. So it was predator versus prey. The prey was running from the predator. It fell down the hillside. The predator or the prey ran past us, right? Let's say that could have happened. That could be a possibility. But the way it went down, the way I had my camera flashed at it, I didn't see anything. You would have thought like it would have ran instantly. It wouldn't just hold back and hang out for a little bit before it ran. And the other thing too, it ran between us and our campsite where we were standing and the log. It could have ran around that. It went through our campsite, through us, past us. A normal animal would run around us. They wouldn't run through us. So we thought that was kind of interesting, and that didn't seem normal.
No. None of it did.
So, and then HD, he said things ran around his tent, right? So that was also like, oh, interesting.
Then it all of a sudden turned human again.
Like, turned human again. So we're like, maybe it's a shapeshifter. I don't know. Then I was thinking, maybe it was supernatural and it was demonic, or it was a spirit, or it was something that ran through, but it passed us because every night we pray protection every single day from Yahushua.
We put on
and
Yahuwah, we put on the armor.
Yes. So we pray constantly. We pray on our campsite. We pray on our sleep. In the mornings, in the night, every time we eat, the whole time, we're constantly praying. We even had our Bible out. We're reading a little bit of the Bible. So we feel like we had protection there. Everywhere we go, we always have protection. We know this. So we thought maybe because it ran through our campsite, past us, towards HD's campsite, maybe it wasn't even after us. Maybe it wasn't there for us. Maybe the supernatural thing was there to torment HD. Maybe it was to get HD to act violently or act unconsciously, where he pulled his gun on me and maybe would have shot me. Maybe that's what the devil wanted. We don't know, but these are all these are possibilities of what we saw. Sam saw fluttering. We heard owls, shape-shifting. We saw a bat-faced animal.
I saw a wolf.
Teddy, you heard a wolf and saw a wolf, he says. And we saw the way it was running. Other accounts say that things run like that. We talked to a friend in our life group, and she
talked about witches.
She talked about witches and bounding and disproportionate, and she knows she's seen these things. So when we told her, she's like, "Oh yeah, for sure," like almost like nonchalant, like, that sounds like that. Yeah, that's for sure.
She was nonchalant about it.
So she's almost confirming it, like, yeah, no, like that's normal to see that stuff. So we think that maybe it was after HD, maybe it was to tempt HD to do something on us. Who knows? It was very interesting too. Maybe it was a shapeshifter, and it shifted into that guy who built his fire, because like Teddy said,
that's the other thing.
His lights,
witch.
His witch, because Teddy said the lights went up in the air. He levitated. There's lasers, lights flashing all over the place. All of a sudden it was pitch black, and he was walking around. There was no moonlight out. The night before there was moonlight out, where it was bright out. There was no moonlight that night. There was no way to see anything out there, and this guy was just walking nonchalantly.
No, the camp time before.
Yeah.
For Mother's Day we had moonlight. For Father's Day there was no light out at all.
So
the other thing that you said could have been is that a stone fell down, and whatever was down there was already stalking us.
Yeah.
And got startled.
That could have been the case too. Yeah, because stones do fall, hillsides, things get shuffled around. But it was loud, and it got louder.
That was steps.
Yeah, it was really intense. It was probably one of the craziest moments, to the point where I don't think we're camping anytime soon, especially not that campground. If we go camping, we're gonna go to more
where there's people.
More people there, but more rangers, more rules, restrictions, where you can't just pull up at any time of the night and build a campsite. There's curfews and stuff like that, where it's more
safe.
Where it's safe and
gentrified.
Yeah, facilitated.
I wouldn't mind a toilet also.
So that was our story of camping at Appletree, and we believe running into something demonic, something spiritual.
But the aftermath only happened once we were gone. While we were there, and I truly believe this is Abba Yahuah and his Ruach HaKodesh, his Holy Spirit guiding us. Our focus was really on those two people while we were there, because even weeks after, we were still talking about it, and while we were there, our focus really shifted when we were talking to them.
Yeah, and it was really nice. They're really nice people. We really hope to see them again.
Yeah, that's fun.
Princess and HD, they're very, very kind people.
Very nice people.
Misunderstood, for sure,
yes.
And we're all human.
Yes.
We all have our fears, we all have our insecurities, we all have our doubts, and we gave them a chance, and we're really happy that we ended up talking with them, because it was a really nice experience talking with them and figuring out what was going on. And I think it was God who wanted us to stay there and just, like Sam says, speak identity upon them and blessings over them, and we prayed with them, and we just hope the best for them. We hope we see them again. We hope we could talk about them again and talk with them again and see how they're doing. But yeah, that's our Appletree story. You guys let us know if you guys have seen any incidences like that.
I know we're gonna send it to those two people that we saw their video.
What you thought about it. The
thing is that's exactly what I'm so drawn into, right? Those are the kind of stories that I listen to. That's the kind of thing. And even going the second time, I was a little bit weary going there, but while we were there, it didn't distract, right? We prayed, and we were careful, and I think we were careful because of Teddy.
Of course, yeah.
I think we would have reacted a lot differently. Excuse me, if we hadn't had Teddy there.
We would have been like.
No, I think we would have just handled it differently.
Yeah, I think it would have turned south real fast if. Things would have been. Yeah, it wouldn't have been as safe and it would have been handled definitely differently. And don't get me wrong, Appletree is a great place to camp.
Shout out to Appletree.
It's beautiful
We're not
nature.
going
It's a beautiful place.
It's
Beautiful nature.
gorgeous. It's
You're very
gorgeous.
open. You're very secluded. You're very free. And especially the first time we were there, when I had the whole site to ourselves, it was amazing.
I hadn't been that happy since my childhood.
It's
in
really
the
cool
forest.
place. Very, very pretty. Very naturey. It's what camping is supposed to be. Unfortunately, we ran into those situations, so we're just going to give it a break for now. And hopefully we'll go back there one of these days. Maybe we always talked about maybe going for winter camping because there's snow over there, and go
That'd be
snow
really
camping
cool.
might be fun.
Only for the day.
But yeah, so that's our that's our story, and hopefully we don't run into any incidents like that again. But if we do, we will keep you guys tuned.
But in terms of it being spiritual, does it make you more aware of what could be going on around you?
Yeah, definitely going out there and experiencing that situation. You definitely could, because you could always write something off as this or off as that. But if you really look into things, everything isn't so black and white. There's definitely there's more to things. But I think as humans, we don't try to look into things because maybe we don't want to. You know, we don't want to think it's spiritual. We don't want to think it's demonic. We don't want to think it's a witch or a spirit coming after us. Or so we just go, oh, it's just an animal. Like let it go. But it just doesn't add up for it just to been animals. The situation, how it unfolded, what happened after the fact, it doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense that it was just some animals running down, because we would have saw the animal when they ran down. It would have ran by us right away. It wouldn't have hung out for quite a bit of time.
Yeah.
And then of course I'm shining the light and I don't see anything, and then Sam gets it at the very end, but my light is focused and we're looking at that area the whole time. It's almost like it
And I'm looking where it should have already ran past.
almost like it
them.
reappeared, and it ran so fast.
Well,
Animals
I'm
are
convinced
fast.
I was supposed to see it.
Yeah, animals are fast, but not that fast. So
Not like
Yeah, it was
Spiritual.
supersonically fast. It was crazy fast.
Even faster
but
than Sonic
could
in the
almost
movies.
zoom into it, and I almost could kind of see it for a frozen
slow
moment or
moment.
something.
Like
Yeah.
it was.
Well,
like
because
it,
think about all the details, right? The overextended arms, the disproportion to the arms ratio, if you compare it to the legs, then the shoulders being so far out because there wasn't that, then the bounding. I looked up, that was the first thing I looked up, was what is it called with the hind legs and the front legs, and that's bounding. And so, and yeah, it was very otherworldly. It was, yeah, I had never seen anything like that in my whole life. Nothing even close to that, except for maybe during sleep paralysis, sometimes something like that, maybe. At least when it comes to that it looks, it's long already, so we're gonna wrap it up right here. But we want to kind of keep the conversation going. If anybody took the time to watch this, we'd love to hear comments or video responses, if that's still a thing. I don't know.
yeah, or just incidences that you guys have experienced, something similar, maybe even not similar, maybe something completely different, but just something along the same lines. Yeah, we just like to hear your story or your feedback on our situation. And if you have any questions, let us know.
Did we smell something? No, right? There was not a smell.
No, smells.
There was not a gross, rotten flesh smell or anything.
No. Yeah, that's the thing too. I feel like if we thought it was like a bear or something, because at first because they said there was bears up there, and we thought if a bear ran by, you would smell the
You'd
bear.
smell it.
Bears
You'd
smell.
smell it,
Yeah, like animals smell. Like you'd smell them run by us.
The
in that
Wendigo
area.
would smell.
So we didn't smell anything.
but don't witches smell too?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes you get a sweet smell, that, a rotten fruit kind of sweet smell. I think sometimes in prayer you could also get that sometimes. If you're praying against something demonic. I don't know. We'll see. But we just want to keep our focus on Abba Yahuah.
If you want to be a member
No, we don't do memberships. But you could subscribe if you want. I think we're at 168, I think.
Not much.
No, maybe 148.
Well, we still need to keep it going up and up. So it would be really kind of you if you could subscribe and
Yeah, subscribe.
and just do
Like
some
and
comments.
Yeah, leave a comment. We want to hear.
If you want to send us an email, if you want to tell us a story that is what Daddy said, pretty much same or completely different. We want to hear anything that is spiritual or anything because it kind of makes me startled.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. To just listen.
Alright, well,
So just we love you a bunch of bananas. That's what my mom used to say, but
My dad used to say it
my
too.
dad used
My
to say to
Opa.
mom, and
Your
my Opa said that to mommy, and she hated bananas, but when she was pregnant, she loved bananas. Banana. Bananas.
How's your taste?
Good. After we're done eating right now, we're going to explain something that you're going to be kind of amazed. So bye and... That's where I must have dropped it. I remember going right here. So... And of course,
You look very handsome. You look very handsome. Teddy said all we do is kiss and we're not even looking for his Lego. Hopefully it's in there. Say Abba Yahuah, please let it be in there. Stop that. Look at that sweat dripping down. Smile, Teddy. Wow, that's a beautiful house. How much? $2 million.
and it's suddenly just on, off, on, off, on, off, on, off, until it just gone. It's the whole light is gone. No, actually.
Yeah, so
sorry.
he's going up the hillside looking
and-
for wood, and then all of a sudden, like, we see him.
His flashlight
Okay,
is
one person at a time.
turning off
And
and
you guys are
on,
forgetting something.
and he's going up. He's like a giant.
Okay, we're forgetting something really big, and one person at a time. We don't interrupt.
All right, you go
okay?
ahead, Sam. Cut this. Cut.